Hello, John.
Hello, Oliver.
Today we're going to talk about an apartment complex in Rathgar, Dublin.
That's right. This is an apartment complex in Rathgar in Dublin. They're about four to five stories, and lovely apartments with balconies, 2-bedroom and 3-bedroom apartments. It's called a magnet for upmarket downsizes. So they're downsizing to these apartments in Rathgar, and they're lovely looking.
They're lovely, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, unfortunately, they're overlooking St. Luke's Cancer Hospital grounds. My wife Julie stayed there last year when she was being treated for cancer, and we stayed in one of the apartments there, which had facilities, cooking facilities, 2 beds and a bathroom, etc. Well able to use for somebody that mightn't be as fit as they would be. It was in such a way that you could stand in it. It was excellent. And all the apartments were full with people that were being attended to, husbands and wives, and in some cases 2 sisters or 2 brothers, those that might have been married. And it was a great comfort to talk to other people that were being treated, and some successfully and some perhaps not so successfully, because it had taken a grip. Now, that hospital and grounds was donated by a wealthy Irish Catholic years ago for his family home, which was substantial, to be for the treatment of cancer patients, because his wife had died from cancer. Now, they're lovely grounds, about 3.5-4 acres or something of that calibre, with streams and various other little amenities around the grounds. Marvellous place for a walk and seats to sit down in tranquility. Now, those apartments that I showed are overlooking that park, the grounds of St. Luke's Hospital. They should have never ever got plan permission, because the privacy of the people that are in this trauma of cancer, now their privacy is interfered with. They are like fish in a pond by this despicable development that took place overlooking the park and grounds where people are in perhaps not a great mood because of what the spouse might be enduring. But it's a great help and support with talking to the people. The last thing you want is people in luxury apartments looking down at you, perhaps having parties and playing music and all the rest of it, and having a good time when you're in this situation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Can you visualise something overlooking James's Street Hospital, where now they're building this hospital at vast expense for children? Another ridiculous undertaking by this out-of-touch government. So this is an example. They should have never got plan permission to build apartments so close to a cancer hospital where people need privacy. Now they have no privacy. Can you visualise out here where we're living here, a big apartment block, and you couldn't use your garden to sit out in?
Yeah, especially if you're ill.
Correct, and recuperating. So this is the sort of lack of considered planning. I don't know how they got plan permission for such apartments. Houses maybe, but certainly not overlooking, because there's a big wall to prevent people looking in, and here now to have apartments that can look in perfectly.
Of course, the other question as well, John, is would you or would I want to buy an apartment beside a cancer hospital? I don't think I would.
Well, you see, they're looking at the grounds. And it's very well kept, because there are gardeners and little ponds and waterfalls. It's just very well kept.
But you're still
so
looking.
it's a nice vista, that there's no such thing as noise. So from their point of view, it might be suitable for people that are paying big money for these apartments, from 750,000 to $1.5 million for a 2-bedroom, 750,000, an awful amount of money, and nearly 4,500 for a management fee, which is nearly 80 or 90 pound a week as well, and never mind all the other expenses, plus property tax, I presume. Now, it's an abomination that it was built there, and the price of those apartments kind of prompted an idea as well, that this sort of, what would I call it, irresponsible behaviour of the property market and the like of the Irish Times to give this, to kind of like praise it without having something between their ears to go and look at where it's been built and see that it's overlooking the St. Luke's Cancer Hospital. This is why you get no proper news from these papers, except falsehood. That's a falsehood. And I can see with this and various other episodes that I've come across in the past 12 months, the property is far too high in the Dublin area and other parts of the country. And I can see an awful lot of houses now for sale that heretofore didn't seem to be. They seem to be snapped up as soon as they were wet on the paper. Now they're for sale, and I have a feeling that there's a decline coming into the property market, which will have an effect on other sectors. And this so-called prudent government that we're saddled with, I wonder, have they got anything between their ears to see what's liable to happen?
There seems to be a lot of houses for sale. I mean, they've mushroomed. There's for sale signs everywhere, right? And it was the same around 2008 when the economy went bust. But there's also vulture funds have come into Ireland now, both for Bank of Ireland and AIB, and they've bought up billions of property, and that could also account for the amount of properties that have mushroomed in the last couple of months, particularly the last 8 weeks.
It could, all right, could very well, because the vulture funds are not interested. They bought these mortgages at a knockdown price, which the people that were in the properties weren't offered at those type of prices. Right. Because of what I call the negligence of the state in disposing of these two vulture funds in the first place, even though the Prime Minister, Taoiseach Varadkar of this country, claimed that they were a benefit. Certainly the like of that government would see such a thing. In Denmark, which had the same kind of a problem as this country, they have still in an orderly disposal of assets, not to sort of flood the country with vulture funds and upset the whole property market as what might be happening now. So vulture funds are in for the short haul, make a profit, and they're not interested in the orderly disposal of property. That should have been the case of the government and the national, that NAMA as it was called. We don't hear too much about that now, but we do know that because of the amount of vulture funds that bought so many mortgages, we're in a very vulnerable position. And I have a feeling, aside from the agricultural sector being destroyed by the policies of this government and previous governments, now I have a feeling there's going to be a problem in the property market, and another example of their incompetence.
Thanks very much, John.
Thank you.